Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Well, this snowplow thing, I just couldn't leave it alone. After I had that pump apart, it almost seemed like that awful noise it was making got worse. So I actually was looking at buying a new motor and figured I'd check a couple more things before I did that. Not sure at the time of the filming of this video if this is going to take care of the problem, but so far in the couple minutes that I've been testing it, it seems to be improvement. So as what I kind of thought is, and this is just probably just a band-aid, it's not the right way to fix it. And before you mess with anything under the skirt of your snowplow, consult your dealer and owner's manual. Maybe even ask your ma if it's a good idea to be poking and prodding under the skirt here. But I went and took this cover off again. Heck, I took the whole motor off. There's a seal bearing on that side, but on this side there's like a bushing. And I didn't think to look the last time I had it apart, but that was pretty dry in there. So as what I did is I went and smeared some pretty good grease in there and put it all back together. Before I put the grease in there, it was making that squealing, chattering noise. And now with the grease in there, it is not making that noise. So we'll have to see how it performs in the cold, because that's generally when it did the worst. But it's still fairly cold. The other thing is that was bothering me is in the manual it says that you should make at least 2,500 psi of pump pressure by checking it on the lift cylinder at the full stroke. And mine was coming up like, I think it was like 2,200 psi, which didn't really bother me too much, but I knew it wasn't to spec. And what I could see in that motor didn't really look like that'd be an issue. So I figured out this is the pump relief pressure, and I turned that up, and yeah, it makes plenty of pressure. Actually, part of the reason why I'm making this video is you guys, if you do decide to turn that up, you know, mess around in here and turn that up, be dang sure that you use a pressure gauge, because not only will that thing make over 2,500 psi, it'll make a fair amount over 2,500 psi. So I'll show you my gauge here. I've got the battery charger going and whatnot to make sure I have plenty of voltage for the pump. This vehicle has dual batteries, and you guys might not be able to see it very good, but right here is 3,000 psi. So they don't give, from what I found, an exact spec what the max is in the pump. They just said it's got to be over 2,500 or you should replace the pump. Well, I went and adjusted on that screw, and this is why you should have a gauge on it. That screw maxed out is, on my pump, 4,100 psi. 4,100. So I'm gonna shoot for around 3,000. So I'm gonna have to turn that thing down just a little bit. Your results may vary. but I went 1 1/4 turns. That's all I would go in. So I'm gonna back it off just under 1/4. And that thing is pretty finicky at the top end there. 2600. I want it just a touch more than that. I hardly went any on that screw. That's 2800. I think that's where I'm gonna leave that, because that's what the relief on the wings is set at. So sounds like a good number for that. And as you can hear, I'll go up front and run it, but as you can hear from this, my pump sounds just fine. Doesn't have any chattering. I assume is all that was, is it the shaft was chattering in that rear bushing. This screw is covered by a jam nut. I didn't have any oil come out of there or anything, but this sets the screw there, keeps it from backing out or whatever. So just a quick little video here for you guys. Remember, whenever you're messing with this, be careful, because you blow a cylinder or hose going on the road, could end up very badly for you and or others. So, and I've noticed a lot of you guys are not subscribed that are watching my videos. It's free to subscribe, so consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you would, please. And God bless and take care. Till next time. Well, I left this thing sit outside the last few nights. I got as low as 20 below zero, I believe. I just brought it in now. It's a lot warmer out right now, but it's still cold enough that it would have given me issues. So it's like 22 degrees or so. And I haven't heard this thing do the motor chatter since I greased it. So I think it's if you're having these troubles like I was, it's sure worth popping that end cap off your motor. You don't have to take it completely apart, I don't think, but pop that end cap off. You will probably have to loosen the motor up and slip it out of the way to get them long bolts out. But go and put a little bit of grease inside there on that bushing. This one's probably never been greased. It's mid-90s. You want to run them? Hey, what you doing?